Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. Paper 12, Module 9 EIA Notification 2006. Dear students, we will cover this EIA Notification 2006 into two parts, one in this module and another in next module. In this module, we will discuss about the introduction, EIA Notification 2006, constraints of EIA Notification 1994, objectives of EIA Notification 2006, salient features of EIA Notification 2006, summary of EIA Notification, then genesis of the notification, requirements of prior environment clearance, then state level environment impact assessment authority, and categorization of projects and activities into screening, scoping and appraisal committees. Then composition of the sector or project specific expert appraisal committees for category A projects and the state or UT level expert appraisal committees for category B projects to be constituted by the central government. So, introducing with the chapter, it was introduced by the Ministry of Environment and Forest on 14th September 2006 as EIA Notification 2006. The objective of EIA Notification 2006 was to address the limitations of EIA Notification 1994. The process for notification started in 2005. The draft notification was placed on MOEF website for nearly 1 year and comments were sought from the public. In this response, comments from several groups and organizations were received. EIA Notification 2006, the Environmental Capacity Building Technical Assistance Project of the World Bank. Govindarajan Committee was set up by the central government for reforming investment approvals and implementation procedures and not for EIA actually. The purpose of the committee was to develop strategies for attracting direct foreign investment into the country. The committee observed environmental clearance process as one of the major hurdles in investment projects. Hence, the committee recommended that to attract investment in the various sectors, hurdles related to environment clearance process need to be eased. They considered mainly constraints in EIA Notification 1994. The constraints were complex method of screening with multiple categorization, highly centralized system of clearance, no standardized or streamlined procedure, requirement of unnecessary details and documents with application, no fixed or predictable schedule of appraisal meetings, technical issues during various stages of appraisal, poor quality EIA studies, long and cumbersome process leading to delays at various stages. The objectives of EIA Notification 2006 were to remove the constraints of EIA Notification 1994. EIA Notification 2006 was published with the objectives of to formulate a transparent, decentralized and efficient regulatory mechanism, to incorporate necessary environmental safeguards at planning stage, to involve stakeholders in the public consultation process. Now, the salient features of EIA Notification 2006. These are more number of projects within the purview of the environment clearing process, attempt to decentralize power to the state government, no categorization of projects based on investment, size or capacity of the project determines whether it is cleared by the central or state government, provision to formulate an expert panel, the Environment Appraisal Committee at state level, induction about scoping which was missing in the earlier notification, introduction of the terms of reference of the project as decided by the expert committees, powers of expert committees to visit the site, hold public consultation and meet experts to decide the terms of reference, commonly called TORs. Clear mention of the appraisal process. The consultation process has been divided into public hearing for local people and submission in writing from other interested parties. Reduction in time required for the entire environment clearing process. Now, further we will discuss the summary of EIA notification. Under the notification, the total scheme of EIA was divided into 12 main paragraphs. The present session will cover the first 5 points. These are genesis of the notification, requirements of prior environment clearance, state level environment impact assessment authority, categorization of projects and activities, then screening, scoping and appraisal committees. So, starting with the points to be covered in this module. Genesis of the notification. In draft notification under sub rule 3 of rule 5 of the Environment Protection Rules 1986 for imposing certain restrictions and prohibitions on new projects or activities or on the expansion or modernization of existing projects or activities based on their potential environmental impacts as indicated in the schedule to the notification being undertaken in any part of India unless prior environment clearance has been accorded in accordance with the objectives of National Environment Policy as approved by the Union Cabinet on 18th May 2006 and the procedure specified in the notification by central government or the state or union territory level environment impact assessment authority to be constituted by the central government in consultation with the state government or the union territory administration concerned under subsection 3 of the section 3 of the Environment Protection Act 1986 for the purpose of this notification was published in the Gazette of India. Gazette of India Extraordinary Part 2 Section 3 Subsection 2 wide number SO 1324E dated 15th September 2005 invited objections and suggestions from all persons likely to be affected thereby within a period of 60 days from the date on which copies of Gazette containing the said notification were made available to the public, and whereas copies of the said notification were made available to the public on 15 September 2005, and whereas all objections and suggestions received in response to the above mentioned draft notification have been duly considered by the central government. Now, therefore, in exercise of the powers conferred by the subsection 1 and clause 5 of subsection 2 of section 3 of the Environment Protection Act 1986 reads with the clause D of sub rule 3 of rule 5 of the Environment Protection Rules 1986 and in suppression of the notification number SO 60E dated 27th January 1994, except in respect of the things done or omitted to be done before such suppression, the central government directed that on and from the date of its publication, the required construction of new projects or activities or the expansion or modernization of existing projects or activities listed in the schedule to this notification entailing capacity addition with changes in process and or technology shall be undertaken in any part of the India only after the prior environmental clearance from central government or as the case may be by the state level environment impact assessment authority duly constituted by the central government under subsection 3 of the section 3 of said act in accordance with the procedure specified herein after in this notification. Then requirements of prior environmental clearance. The projects or activities as specified in the notification shall require prior environment clearance from the concerned regulatory authority, which shall hereinafter referred to be as the central government in the Ministry of Environment and Forests for matters falling under category A in the schedule, and at state level the state government State Environment Impact Assessment Authority for matters falling under category B in the said schedule before any construction work or preparation of land by the project management except for securing the land is started on the project or activity. As per the notification, all new projects or activities listed in the schedule to this notification be covered, such as expansion and modernization of existing projects or activities listed in the schedule to this notification, with addition of capacity beyond the limits specified for the concerned sector, that is, projects or activities which cross the threshold limits given in the schedule after expansion or modernization. Any change in product mix in an existing manufacturing unit included in schedule beyond the specified range, state level environment impact assessment authority. A state level environment impact assessment authority, hereinafter referred to as SEA, has been constituted by the central government under subsection 3 of section 3 of the Environment Protection Act 1986, comprising of 3 members including a chairman and a member secretary to be nominated by the state government or the union territory administration as concerned. As per the notification, the member secretary shall be a serving officer of the concerned state government or union territory administration familiar with environmental laws. The other 2 members shall be either a professional or expert fulfilling the eligibility criteria given in appendix 6 of this notification EIA 2006. One of the specified members in the sub paragraph 3 above, who is expert in the environmental impact assessment process, shall be chairman of the SEA. The state government or union territory administration shall forward the names of the members and the chairman referred in sub paragraph 3 to 4 to the notification to the central government, and the state government shall constitute the SEA as an authority for the purpose of this notification within 30 days of the date of receipt of the names. The non-official members and the chairman shall have a fixed term of 3 years from the date of the publication of the notification by central government constituting the authority. All decision of the SEA shall be unanimous and taken in a meeting. Further, categorization of projects and activities. As per the notification, All projects and activities are broadly classified or categorized into two categories, category A and category B, based on the special extent of the potential impacts and potential impacts on human health and natural and man-made resources. All projects or activities included as category A in the schedule, including expansion and modernization of existing projects or activities and changes in product mix, shall require prior environmental clearance from the central government in the Ministry of Environment and Forest on the recommendation of the expert appraisal committee, which is constituted by the central government for the purpose of this notification. All projects or activities included as category B in the schedule, including expansion and modernization of existing projects or activities as specified in the paragraph 2 of paragraph 2 or change in product mix as specified in subparagraph 3 of paragraph 2, but excluding those which fulfill the general conditions stipulated in the schedule, will require prior environmental clearance from state or union territory environment impact assessment authority. The SEA shall base its decision on the recommendations of a state or union territory level expert appraisal committee, commonly called SEAC, SEAC, as to be constituted for in this notification. In the absence of a duly constituted SEA or SEAC, as per notification, a category B project shall be treated as a category project. Number 3, screening, scoping and appraisal committees. As per notification, the same expert appraisal committees at the central government and state level, that is SEACs, herein referred to as the EAC, and SEAC at the state or the union territory level shall screen, scope and appraise projects or activities in category A and category B projects respectively. EAC and SEAC shall meet at least once every month. As per notification, the composition of the EAC shall be as given in the appendix 6 of this notification. The SEAC at the state or the union territory level shall be constituted by the central government in consultation with the concerned state government or the union territory administration with identical composition. Further, it states that the central government may, with the prior concurrence of the concerned state government or union territory administrations, constitutes one SEAC for more than one state or one or union territory for reasons of administrative convenience and cost wherever feasible. The EAC and SEAC shall be constituted after every 3 years. Further, the notification provides that the authorized members of the EAC and SEAC concerned may inspect any site connected with the project or activity in respect of which the prior environmental clearance is sought for the purpose of screening or scoping or appraisal, with prior notice of at least 7 days to the applicant, who shall provide necessary facilities for the inspection. The EAC and SEACs shall function on the principle of collective responsibility. The chairperson of these committees shall endeavour to reach a consensus in each case, and if consensus cannot be reached, the view of the majority shall prevail. Further, the notification provides guidelines for composition of the sector or project specific expert appraisal committee EAC for category A projects and the state or UT level expert appraisal committees for category B projects to be constituted by the central government. As per this, the expert appraisal committees and the state or UT level expert appraisal committees shall consist of only professionals and experts fulfilling the eligibility criteria as professional. The person should have at least 5 years of formal university training in the concerned discipline leading to a MA, MSc degree, or in case of engineering, technology, architecture disciplines, 4 years formal training in a professional training course together with prescribed practical training in field leading to BTech, BE, BArch degree or otherwise professional degree like law involving a total of 5 years of formal university training and prescribed practical training, or prescribed apprenticeship or articleship and pass examinations conducted by the concerned professional associations, for example, chartered accountancy, or a university degree followed by 2 years of formal training in a university or service academy like MBA, IAS, IFS, etc. In selecting the individual professionals, experience gained by them in their respective fields will be taken note of. Then comes the expert, a professional fulfilling the above eligibility criteria with at least 15 years of relevant experience in the field or with an advanced degree in a concerned field with at least 10 years of relevant experience. Age requirements, age should be below 70 years. However, in the event of non-availability of or paucity of expert in a given field, the maximum age of a member of the expert appraisal committee may be allowed up to 75 years. The members of the EAC shall be experts with the requisite expertise and experience in their fields or disciplines. In the event that persons fulfilling the criteria of experts are not available, professionals in the same field with sufficient experience may be considered. Then comes the environment quality experts. Experts in measurement or monitoring, analysis and interpretation of data in relation to environment quality can be considered. Then sectoral experts in project management. Experts in project management or management of processes, operation, facilities in the relevant sectors may also be considered. Environment impact assessment process experts. These are the experts in conducting and carrying out environmental impact assessments and preparation of environmental management plans and other management plans, and who have wide experience and knowledge of predictive techniques and tools used in the EIA process. As per notification, the membership of EAC shall not exceed 15 regular members. However, the chairperson may co-opt an expert as a member in a relevant field for a particular meeting of the committee. The chairperson shall be an outstanding and experienced environmental policy expert or expert in management or public administration with wide experience in the relevant development sector. The chairperson shall nominate one of the members as the vice chairperson, who shall preside over the EAC in absence of the chairman or chairperson. a representative of the Ministry of Environment and Forest shall assist the committee as its secretary as per this notification. Further, as per notification, the maximum tenure of a member, including chairperson, shall be for 2 terms of 3 years each. The chairperson or chairman or members may not be removed prior to expiry of the tenure without cause and proper inquiry. So, dear students, in this module we have learnt about the composition of SIA and SEEC, its genesis of the EIA 2006 notification and its major paragraphs. 5 we have already discussed in this module. The remaining we are going to discuss in the module, that is module number 10. Thank you.